Hey friends, Mike from Hillside Hives. I just wanted to make a video for my beekeeper friends today. My friend called me and asked me if I would extract 4 medium boxes of honey for him. 2 were from last year, so they're crystallized. 2 were from this year. I was unable to use the my extractor because of it was just a little bit too thick. It had been harvested a little bit ago, so I had to use my hand to extract it, which I'll go over in another video another day. Boy, did I make a mess in the kitchen that I have to clean yet. But I thought, before I did this last frame of honey, I thought I would show my new beekeeper friends that are going to be keeping bees next year what a frame of honey looks like. This is a good example, not of a good example of a full frame of honey, because there should be honey over this whole thing. This is a good example though of, this is all capped honey right now. Now this is one that's crystallized, so you can see it's a little bit, looks a little bit different. But this is basically how the bees work it inside the hive, and then, or inside the frame, and then they work their way out. If this was a full frame of honey, this would come all the way up here. All this would be capped. What I mean by capped is the honey. Like if you look over here, there's some nectar that was in there. I don't know if that's nectar, if that was pollen. You see the dark areas. So once the bees fill this up with nectar, what they do is they sit by this and they just like flap their wings, flap their wings, flap their wings, and it gets all the moisture out of the nectar, and that's what makes it honey. As soon as it's the right humidity, what they do is they put a little wax cap on it, so you know that that's done. If you ever go into a frame like this and you see that there's wax around it, like if this frame had just wax around it and up here there was just nectar and all this other area, that's not done. And you don't want to harvest that, because if that water gets in with the rest of your honey, it could make your honey ferment after a while. So you want to make sure this is all capped. Also, I think there's a little bit of pollen in here. I don't know if that black, like I said, is pollen. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to harvest this entire thing. I'm going to put this into, scoop all this out. I'm going to take the beeswax, I'll render the beeswax down in the oven or the dehumidifier, purify that in a filtration system, and then have pure beeswax. And then this honey, it'll melt down. I'll put it through my filtration system, and between the honey and the pollen will go through, and then I'll have some honey to go. So that was just it. This is a quick tip. You can take a look at that. Look at this. This is all from what the bees made. Everyone is perfectly symmetrical. It's just amazing. Okay, that's all. That's all I have today. Thanks.